Is that a misguided proposal by the NFL?
I think it is somewhat. I think most coaches, it'd be interesting if they would have talked to people, the boots on the ground, the coaches who would be in those situations. I say that just because I think that's a tough spot to be in as a coach, to know you're getting a job and then you're going to move up, potentially and get more draft picks. And so why are you hiring me? That would be something that I'm sure coaches would want to really dig into on the front end of it, because you want to make sure that you're not the token guy getting hired because you're going to provide more draft picks for that particular organization.
Yeah, it's misguided. Look, I think everyone thinks that their heart's in the right place. They're aiming in the right direction, but going about it the wrong way. And that's just pretty obvious if you can think about putting yourself in this position, if you are a person of color and then you are given this opportunity. Beyond the why, you're going to say, how did I get this opportunity? And if you know it's because of an incentivized proposal, you had to legislate an opportunity for them. It is affirmative action in a new form. And I think that a lot of coaches will feel undermined by their presence and being there, and their authority will feel undermined because you are incentivizing teams to just hire a person because of their complexion. Yeah, of course, they'll have qualifications to support that, but the initial read is going to be it's complexion-based. And being a guy who's seen this situation before, being in the NFL, as you know, Hugh, it's an earned, shared experience. You could come from a small school. You can come from a big school. You can't hide behind your program. We got to go through the combines. We got to show film. Like, everything is about this meritocracy, and it's an earned experience. And now you're just going to say someone can leap. And I understand this for great merit, great reason in your mind, but I just think that this course of action is going to come back to bite them.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you all. Misguided here. And I think one of the miscalculations here with the proposal is you got to remember who these coaches are. At some point, they're former athletes, high school, college, whatever, and it's about competition. And I don't know any athlete, black or white, any high-level athlete who's afraid of competition and Marcellus used to be a sprinter. In a 100-meter dash, you don't want a 5-meter head start. You want to go mano a mano. And so in talking to people this weekend, coaches, other people, it just didn't strike the right chord with the rank and file, black or white. It's, hey, we are about competition. We're not afraid of competition. We don't want to be treated as if we need a special head start, give us a 5-meter head start. We just want to be treated fairly. And so I'm a bit surprised that the proposal got leaked and is out there when you didn't have the support of the rank and file coaches around the league, particularly African-American coaches. And then I would say this. The other thing, and this is kind of a big thought, but I want to put it out here because, Marcellus, you brought up the affirmative action point. And it's my belief, and I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. Affirmative action in the corporate world did not help African-American men. And I don't want to be offensive here, but I'm just keeping the facts, keeping it real. It helped white women, in my belief. And a lot of people, I'm 53 years old. I've gone through the affirmative action era. I graduated college in 1990 when affirmative action was pretty prominent. I don't feel it did a service to black men. I feel like white women benefited from that the most. And when I hear this proposal, that is my fear, that this really isn't about black men. This is about women and promoting them into positions, in executive positions in the NFL, and they will be the major benefactors, not black men.
I think it's interesting that you brought those things up, but I think both of you guys have some unbelievable points. I think, first of all, I commend the league, and the diversity committee for trying to do something. I think we all get it. They're trying to move the needle. They're trying to bring about change and create more opportunities. The positions that they targeted, from quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, head coach, GM, are the positions of what it's really all about in the National Football League. So I get it. But I think you both said it. How we do it, I think it's really important. And so I think we all have to understand what the problem is and really dig into that before we come up with a solution. So I think it can't be something that's rushed. I think you got to take the time and really think about, why are we in this spot? This is the 100-year history of the National Football League, and we have not solved this yet. There's only been 18 head coaches that have been minorities in the National Football League. So that's an issue. So we have to understand, I think, the history of the league, how it started, where it is today, and then let's talk about ways to fix this and move forward.
You said it. I mean, we all can just see where their heart is, and it's in the proper place. Necessity is the mother of invention. Well, desperation must be the baby mama of just trying something new, because look at this situation. I know they're desperate, but damn, this doesn't make a ton of sense. I have talked to black coaches who were like, I'm not signing up for this, and they're supposed to benefit from this. So this is a situation where you're going to tell majority white ownership, hey, you got to bring these guys in, and we trusted you for almost 2 decades, and now we're going to incentivize you. No one who owns anything wants to be told what to do or how to do it, let alone putting those black coaches in a position where their authority will be undermined. So all around this situation, I'm glad Jason talked about affirmative action. Going to Columbia in the early 90s, when affirmative action was still around but was certainly declining, I always had a mindfulness of, how was I being perceived? Was I being perceived as an affirmative action student? And then I come to realize that I wasn't. I was just a damn good football player, and that was just my affirmative action. So that helped my resume. But these coaches want their resume to be taken for what it is, not with any other stimulus that comes from an outside force.
Hugh, I want to give you a final thought, and I'm going to ask you to be quick here because we got to move on to Jim Trotter. But my other fear with this is, if you start in these types of incentives and a team hires a black coach, not because they truly believe, but they want the benefit of the draft improvement, and I'm talking about the head coach or general manager position, I think you could see a lot of organizations put really restrictive puppet strings on that coach. If you've hired him not for the right reasons because of true belief, then you want to micromanage him and put puppet strings on him. That produces the kind of failure that we all want to avoid. A guy has to have the freedom to actually be the head coach or general manager.
Absolutely. And I think you just nailed it, Jason. The key is failure. We need success. The minority coaches need success in these positions. We need to be put in a situation where we have a chance to be successful, where all of a sudden the normal is different than what it's been, and give these guys a chance to compete on the same level playing field as everybody else.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.